and welcome. This is Aya, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about, card making essentials or tools that you need, to start card making. Of course, for beginners or those people who are really interested, in making cards. But before we start, I want to share with you something. By no means you need everything I'm going to show you. All the stuff that I'm going to show you, they are really helpful. They will make the process of creating card, really, really easy. So the first thing you need to create a card, you need a paper. And paper are really different. Anything above 90 grams will be really good. You see here, I'm holding two kind of paper. Unfortunately, I don't remember the weight, but they are about maybe 90 and 110. And the other one was a computer paper, not a computer, what do you call it? Printer, paper printer. The thicker is the better, because first you're gonna create your card base if you want to. Also, you can adhere your panel, A2 panel, or your background, your images, your scraps, embellishments, glue. So you need a heavyweight cardstock that can, take everything, and you feel the card will not, fall apart or something. Or if you don't want to create your card base, you can, buy it ready-made. This is from Joanne, like a box of cards and envelope. There are two sizes of card, like A2 size, and this is the most common one. And there is also A7, larger one. And now the trend is about slim line card, but I will not go through it now. This is something, I don't know, I feel so fancy, but it will be in a different, episode. Okay, so now you have your cards. Now you need to decorate your card. How? By using stamps. I feel stamps made, for people who doesn't know how to draw, same as me. So you have so many cute images, from critters to flowers to, anything you can think about. I think you're gonna find a stamp for it. And this is the beauty of it. So the variety of stamps, stamp images, trigger your brain. So you will have this idea, okay, maybe I can create something with this. Maybe I can do a cute scene, or I can do that, or so this is the beauty really of stamps. And for the stamps, there are three types of stamp. First, we have stamps made of polymer. This is a very good quality, and most polymer stamps you can find it here in US or made in USA. There is also kind of silicone one, which I don't like and prefer. Because I bought a stamp from Kaiser Craft, and when I try, to pull it, it came two parts. I don't know how, because it was very, very sticky, and sometimes it's light. So, and this is mainly, manufactured in China or Thailand. I don't know why they don't, fabricate or make, polymer stamps. That's why also you will find this is a low price. You will find it really cheap, not like polymer stamps. Here I have an example, Art by Merlin stamp. This is made of silicone, but I don't know where she made them, manufacturer, I'm sorry. I don't know, maybe in China or maybe another land, but this is kind of good quality. Not like the other one that, I purchased that stick, to the sheet, and when I try to just take it out, just red. Also, the line for the silicone will be thin, and very thin line, and sometimes you need to use misty tool so you can have like a perfect stamping. And I will talk about misty tool later. Next, we have also red rubber and mounted on a wood stamp. For me, I don't prefer it for two reasons. First, because of the space, storing these take really large space. And second, you don't guarantee the second time when you stamp using wood stamp that you will stamp perfect, without shifting, the lines. So that's why I don't like, to purchase them, let's say. But this fairy one, it's from Penny Black. This is my first ever stamp I bought like 7 years ago, so that's why I just like to keep it. And of course there is different sizes of wooden stamp. So or you can buy it ready made like this one, Tear the Expression, and already mounted for you, and it's easy and will stick to your block. Or like this, like Sissy Design, sometimes they sell the whole sheet, or even I think Greeting Farm stamps, they sell the whole sheet, and you start, to cut it and mount it. You're gonna buy like the gray one, to mount your stamp. Anyway, whatever you prefer, you just go for it. Sometimes for me, I prefer polymer, or sometimes the red rubber. It depends. It depends how you're gonna use it, and I suggest you start, one of each, and you see how you're going, to like it. Okay, so, and if you know how to draw, by no means you don't need to buy a stamps, because you can draw your images and you color it, cut it, and you're good to go and have a ready-made card. But the thing here in a stamp, if you want to, for example, repeat your drawing, it might not, have the same image every time you try to draw, for example, the height, the width, some details, and this is not the case with the stamps. Every time you stamp, you have the same image all the time. And if you don't want, by no means, to buy stamps, because maybe they start to become pricey, to be honest, but yeah, but you can, find them, in a very reasonable price, when there's a sale or anything. But if you don't want to buy, stamps, you can go to the digital stamps. And there are so many designers who sell digital stamps. For me, I really love Rana. Rana, she is the one designer for these cute stamps. About last year, and I didn't have a chance to work with. The sizes of it, it's ready made. The sizes are really amazing, and you just cut it. And even she has like a red line around the image, so you can use your scissor or your scanning cut machine, so you can cut it. This is Rana. I don't remember the name of her shop. I don't know, it's a German one or something. I'm going to link her shop in the description box. So she have amazing images, and even have die cuts, dies. But I'm not talking about dies now. Or, for example, Pokedoodle. No, they have the image, and you are free, to enlarge, or, to make your images small. So whatever you want, you can, choose. So this is Pokedoodle. Again, I'm going to leave the link for them down below. They have a very cute images. So this is, in short, about, about the stamps. Again, for the stamps, now they start to make coordinating dies. It's not now, it's a long time ago. So dies, so the dies helps you, cut your images instead of fussy cutting or using your scanning cut. Dies are really expensive, and they are more expensive than the stamps because they are made in USA. However, I don't buy dies for each stamp all the time unless there is some tricky images. There is so many lines, so yes, I will gonna need the die. But if it's easy easy to fussy cut, I will not go buy the die because, as I said, it's expensive. It's really expensive. I'm showing you here like Waffle Farm. They have a combo. When you buy a stamp and die, you're gonna get 10% off. Now we finish about stamps. Let's go for the inks, because we need to stamp the stamps. So we need inks. For each medium you're going to use or to color your images, there is a special ink. For me, my favorite medium is Copic markers, and this is alcohol based, so you need a special formula for the ink. If you're going to use any different ink, like for example, I have here VersaFine ink, this will not work. The ink, if it touches, if the marker touches the black ink, will start to smear, and you will see some black, surrounding your image. So the best ink for Copic markers called GNK Embellishment ink, and this is amazing. Also, there is a black Memento Tuxedo black ink. I'm sorry, I don't have it right now. It's a long name, and I'm going to write it, in the description box or over in my blog. These two are very good for alcohol markers, or you can check, the packaging for the ink itself, because I don't know all the brands. Because in the back they're gonna say this is Copic friendly or for watercolors or whatever medium. I love VersaFine. VersaFine is really good with watercolor, but I don't use it with watercolor. Just like to stamp my sentiments because it's really crisp black ink. So always read the packaging or instruction behind it. This is the first of mine. This is, I think, the old version, and the one with the flowers is the, what do you call it, a new version. Also, the good thing about the inks that there is a refill. Okay, before the refills, I want to say that Gina K, yes, Gina K, she did something really genius, that all her inks are suitable for any mediums. So you don't need to have, different, brand of inks unless you want to do that. But if you want to just use one ink that fit all your medium, just go with Gina K Embellishment inks. And the good thing also, she has in different colors. If you want a no line coloring, if you don't like this black line, you can use like soft beige or like flesh tone. So it's really good. Also, as I said, there is a refill for all the inks as far as I know. So inks are really necessary so you can stamp your images. Things I'm going to show you now, they are not necessary. However, it's like give you, a different look and beautiful look. First, we have the colored ink. I have used, I think, all the brands, and I had to pick up one, and I picked up Altono inks, and I start to, invest in them. Okay. And even this is not necessary, but if you're going to buy like layering stamps or any, stamps, like, I don't know, what do you call these? That has this black that is already colored, that you can color using ink, not, mediums, color pencil or Copic. Yes, I think in that time you need a color inks. But by no means you don't need it, to stamp your images, because I don't think so that I prefer to stamp, my critters or anything using green ink, for example. So layering images, layering stamp, or block, I don't know why I forgot the name of that stamp. Stamp that can be colored using inks. Okay, next, distress inks and distress oxide. Also, they are not necessary. There is, an alternative for them. You can use, design paper. He's switching my phone. You can use design paper, but these are really, really fun when it comes, to blending or creating your own backwards background. I'm sorry, guys. You're creating backgrounds like here. I use distress oxide, or you can use distress inks. If you're a beginner and you want to start, I will suggest you go with distress oxide because it's easy to blend and more information. I created a full video about distress oxide and distress inks, so I'm not going through details in each product because needs a different video, but I'm going to link in the description box a playlist about card making, and I explain everything in details about each product. But if you don't want them, just don't buy them. You can, as I said here, you print your image, print your sentiment, color it, and you're ready to go. For example, in this card, this is a La La Land stamp. I stamp my image and I create everything by myself, so you don't need blending or anything. This is all color pencil. If you want to go creative, yes, here in this card I used distress oxide and I build a scene. I used so many images and critters to create a scene. This lady, in the forest pouring tea for the cat. So this is so much fun. So again, if you don't want, just don't. As a beginner, you can just start with a simple, images and creating. Here, when I talked about no line coloring, that you will not see any black line, you use like light tone ink, so you can color your images, and also it's up to you. Now let's talk about blocks, acrylic blocks. I'm sorry that they are dirty. I don't clean my blocks, in a regular way. And the best thing has really invented in crafting world, this is Misty tool. It's amazing. You just put your paper and with your image, you place your stamp whatever place you want. Close the door, open the door, and ink it and stamp it. So the cool thing about here, if let's say you have, light impression when you stamped your images and you want to stamp it again, if you're going to use your acrylic block, same as wooden, when I talk about the wooden stamp, you do not guarantee that you're going to get the same, the same spot, that you're going to stamp in the same spot. Maybe there is a shift line most of the time, to be honest. But in a Misty tool, no, it will help you, stamp every time in the same place. So this is a Misty tool. This is really old and dirty. Now there is a collaboration between Hero Arts and I think called Sweet Petunia, and they collaborate and they had like this black one, and this is the bigger size. So the biggest size, this 12 by 12 inch, and I really really love it. Why? Because I think you see me in other videos that when I try to rip the paper so I can stamp my images, but here you don't need. Just place your paper, put so many images or stamps, stamp them, and go enjoy coloring. So this is what I really like about the bigger size. And also there is a small size, but I don't have it. I'm waiting for the new release. I think for Misty it will be on May. They have some changes or features I think in their Misty tool, so I'm waiting to buy the small one in May, hopefully. But of course it's handy to have some acrylic block around for a quick stamping. Now let's go for the glue. For the glue, I really love to use, foam tape, and you can buy it, in a big roll, or, pre-cut like square or circles. Also, a glue pen for details, double-sided tape, of course, really good, or tape runner. These are really my favorite. Or liquid glue, and this is Gina K Connect glue. It's a little bit pricey. It's like $5 or some $6. It's really good. It's amazing, but I don't know. It dries clear, and this is what I really like about it. It's really not heavy, not like tacky glue, so I like it, but it's a little bit expensive. Now for the most important thing. I think the last three things I'm going to talk, they are the most important thing, and I kept them till the end because this is really important. Paper trimmer. Paper trimmer are really important because the paper trimmer will cut your paper, as you see here, and you can choose whatever brand you want, and it has inches from 1 till 14. But of course you don't need 14. I don't think so. There is a paper on 14 inches. I think 12 inches. But anyway, really, really good. And the second tool you need is a scoring board. This is Corbel, really good because it has the inches and 7 inches, not 7 and 8, and these numbers that I don't understand. But it's really handy. This is 12 inch. I don't like the bone folder that comes with it, so I bought this bone folder from Simon Says. It's a Teflon one. It's really, really good. So you have your paper, you score it. Oh, I didn't mention the sizes. So maybe kindly you can go to my blog and check all the details and number, for more information. So yeah, so this the scoring board will help you score your paper, break the paper fibers, in a nice way, so you don't have these crinklings or things that you don't like in the top of the card, when you fold it. Or if you want 2-in-1, you can go with this one. This is Fiskars. I don't remember the name, but again, things will be everything. I'm going to write everything in the blog. This is Score, the black one Score, and the orange one, to cut your paper. I think there is other brand like We Are Memory Keepers has the same idea, whatever your heart desires. But these two tools are really, really important in card making or, scrapbooking world. So I'm going to show you, some example, some cards. Again, 90% of these cards have a video tutorial over my channel. I'm going to link the playlist, in the description box. You will find also some extra embellishment. I didn't mention them because they are not necessary. However, when you watch the video, you will learn, gradually about these extra embellishment or extra tools. Again, it is not about, tools or stamps or things that you have. It's about the quality time that you spend with yourself creating these cards. Either you keep it for yourself or send it out to other people or sell it, whatever you want to do, card making or scrapbooking, whatever, arts or any, handmade art or anything. It's again, your time. Really, it's you will feel first you will feel that you're disconnect from the world that you live in. You will have your own different world, and this is the beauty about creating creating your cards or your art or whatever art projects you're interested in. So you can start really with a very simple supply, and with time goes on, you can build your stash. Again, you can buy used stuff, buy used arts and crafts. Yes, so I hope you like this series. If yes, please give it a thumbs up. I know it's a long video, but I try to cover things as much as I can. Thank you so much, and wait for the next video because I'm going to talk about die cutting. This is another fun world about card making. Thank you again for tuning by. I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.